Are you ready? Are you ready to pod it up?
Let's go. Let's have fun.
Peatcast it. This is the Simply Youth Ministry Podcast with Doug Fields,
I think it's going to be a four-shoulder touch.
Matt McGill,
Nothing says loving like a muffin.
Josh Griffin,
The internet is a hotbed of activity.
and Jana Sardi.
Podcast.
The show starts now.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Simply Youth Ministry Podcast. Doug Fields here with the lovely Matt McGill on my right, the queen of all things related to life, Jana Sardi.
Related to life.
And Josh, who is sporting the weirdest thing around
It's
his...
just a little bracelet. That's all it is.
It's like spring is here plaid
Yep.
bracelet. Somebody
What
lost
does
a
it
bet,
signify?
and now you have to wear it.
I'm
House
up
arrest.
on the youth house arrest. Yeah. No, I'm up on the youth culture. It's just I'm a student of culture now.
Is that
Yeah.
from the the bicycle guy?
Did the last high school guy leave that behind?
No, a guy, one of our volunteers left a huge box full of stuff
Nielsen.
from Quicksilver in my office and just said,
Armstrong.
"What would you like?"
Of
Take
all
you
the
want."
things that you got out
Yeah.
of the box of
So
Quicksilver,
today I'm
it was
wearing-
a
I'm wearing
plaid.
that. Well, no, look at this. Look, I have a wallet. I got a Quicksilver wallet.
Are
too,
those
that's
the only
really
things that
cool.
could fit?
Okay, this isn't, I was
pretty
just
cool.
gonna say this isn't meant to be mean, but
It felt mean.
That looks
Felt me.
nice.
Oh, Josh, look at that zoom in on your face.
I know.
Let me
Can
feel
we
that.
look at this?
We'll put it on
Hey,
the web.
Chris, let's get this on the camera.
Oh,
This
boy.
is
Just
a-
take my Quicksilver wallet right up there with you. Why don't you?
Let's show everybody his credit card numbers.
No. Look at his face on
I
that
just
one.
want to see the wallet. I
Oh
don't
my
really
gosh,
care
can we
about
zoom
his-
in on this?
Oh, the mustache is unbelievable.
No, it's not the mustache.
No,
It's
it is the mustache.
This?
it's like the wide angle lens on there.
No, it's
Oh.
the mustache. Is awesome.
It's
you
a-
look like
A cop.
Yeah.
You look like the cop that
you
got
look like-
fired for that
you look
football
like a
game.
cop from Reno 911.
Wow.
Yeah, we got to post that
I
somewhere.
just thought I was really fat. I
What's
didn't realize.
what's funny is we've posted Matt's license picture before as well.
Have we?
Mine's great.
Yes.
Oh.
Matt, okay.
Yeah, mine has the weight of me when I was a
Can I just
freshman
see
in
the
college.
wallet? I
Thank
won't
you for-
pull anything out. I just
Thank you for appreciating the quality of that.
So
Quicksilver
Quicksilver, one of your volunteers gave it to you, and these
wallet.
are
So it
the
had,
two
like,
things that can fit.
30 hats, 6 watches. I have brought a pair of sunglasses today. Just really cool. But
Dude, your
I did
Social
see that you
Security
passed it
card's
on to the
ripped.
interns because I do see them walking around
No,
with
not me.
new gear.
Oh yeah, I passed a
That
little
was
bit on.
nice.
Yeah, I'm gonna give a little bit away during my talk this weekend, so it'll be fun.
That's great.
Yeah, a couple belts didn't fit.
You mean
A
bracelets?
t-shirt, some new bracelets.
I need a
though.
belt, Josh.
I got 2 really cool ones.
Paul last week he was like, "Do you have a belt? I need a belt."
Oh no, it's great.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Well, welcome everybody. This is you know what I've decided for 101. Here's my new learning. That I
101.
well, this is episode 101,
Oh.
and we have a new set. And somebody from our live audience has said this reminds them of a Christian school
News show.
news show, which is awesome.
That
That's
hurts and it's so true. All of a
Yeah.
sudden.
But we came in here, and it's the first time in 100 episodes that we've actually been cold.
I'm freezing.
And Matt comes walking upstairs, and Josh says,
Oh, that's a little
Matt?
personal.
"Well, no, it's all right, Matt. You are sporting. What'd you say?
you
I
remember,
said
you just
your
get him to
nipples
say it.
are beacons of freedom.
Your nipples are beacons of freedom." No, I didn't.
They were
remember.
just shining brightly.
It was just a great line.
How would they shine?
I don't know. They just were.
Holiness.
Oh goodness.
Hey,
It was so cold. Yeah. I know,
Yeah.
it's
So
very-
anyway, it's warmed up now. So we got a new little outside studio. It looks like Simply
Outside,
Youth
oh.
Ministry spent about $8 and bought a
$4. It's all from IKEA.
Is that? Yeah, and the table rocks, and we
Table
got a
rocks.
sign.
Hey,
We bought curtains, so we couldn't buy a table.
Yeah, that's
Yep.
right. In terms of podcasts,
We got a table right over there.
We have a new seating arrangement. That's big news.
No,
Is
we
this the way
don't.
we sit?
This is always how
No,
we
he
sit.
and I are.
Oh, you're a little switched.
A little bit different.
Okay.
Well, just
Yeah,
throwing
that's
that
true.
out.
All right.
It's about time.
The bookends. Hey, so anyway, we haven't been together since our 100th show
Wow.
What do you mean?
Well,
oh, as a podcast.
as
Yeah.
a podcast. Have we even been together since our 100th show, all 4 of us?
Remember? Nope.
Remember when?
Have we?
I was going to say at PDYM, didn't we get...
Yeah, Matt didn't come.
Oh, you're right. We had that
You
one
didn't invite
kid,
me.
Chris.
He didn't
Yeah.
invite you. Come on.
For what?
I
Coming to
invited.
PDYM?
I sent you like 8
I was-
emails.
Oh, I thought you were talking about
Yeah.
the other conference.
So on our 100th show,
The other.
No, we got to
Like
talk
the-
about how I got cut from the list because I couldn't turn in 200 words.
you got cut.
All right, so let's back it up to our 100th show. Our 100th show, for those that didn't know this, we did our 100th show in Columbus, Ohio at the Simply Youth Ministry Conference.
Yep.
And we had shirts that said 100th anniversary.
No,
Awesome.
Happy 100th.
Happy 100th. Happy 100th. The back was the best part because it says every Thursday noonish or something like that.
Almost every Thursday.
Almost every
around
Thursday.
noon.
Very clever.
Yeah.
Very
Yeah,
clever.
Noonish
And
was good.
people were lined up to get in because for the first
There was,
100.
It was
thousands
for
of
free
people
food.
Divided by hundreds.
Oh, I
There
think it
was
was for
pizza.
free T-shirts.
There
Oh,
were
okay.
T-shirts.
T-shirts,
It was a
yeah.
good night.
It was fun.
Very
it was
fun.
fun.
You know, a lot of people have been asking about. We did a little bit with Tori during the
Yeah.
show. A lot of people have been asking about what happened.
Yeah.
So have we ever revealed what happened to the?
No, well, here's what happened. I blew it in that you couldn't tell people it was a bet, and once I told people it was a bet, it disqualified
over,
the whole
yeah.
thing. So she wasn't. I just needed to set her up and go on a date, and then she'd have been fine with her roommates. But the fact that I told people it was a bet,
Yeah. Then it's not.
so then she said, "Dad, this means nothing to me."
Yeah. Then it's
No.
like a pity date to help her.
Yeah,
win,
and so
that's
I
not-
said,
yeah.
"Do you want me to get you out of it?" And she kind of, "Well, I don't want to hurt his feelings." I was, done, out.
Yeah.
You're out. And then I passed it on to you, and you took care of it.
Done.
Thank you.
Absolutely. No, it was good. It was fun.
He was
I-
nice. He was a
It
nice,
was a good show.
nice
Good
guy.
kid. A
Yeah.
lot of fun.
But that night was fun.
Tori's still single.
Live audience was fun.
Yeah.
Then the conference ended well. We came back from the conference, and it seems like that conference was a month ago.
Well, it was.
Oh, okay.
This
this
is
is
just a month ago.
this is episode 101.
It feels
It
like
keeps popping off.
This
Like
is
a
April
year ago.
2nd today. It'll be posted April 3rd. But
Or
it's April
5th. Or 6th.
Chris.
When
All right,
April
yeah.
3rd.
We should live stream this on Mogulus.
Mogulus.
What about that?
We're live streaming it on Ustream.
Oh, you're right.
Interesting.
McGill, you love just kind of dropping little like you're a techie guy.
No, I
Yeah,
just
I,
thought
I
I
laughed
was-
at your Twitter yesterday.
What'd I say?
We're at lunch together, and the guy at lunch introduces him to this new web browser. What's it called? Skyfox or something like
Oh
that.
yeah, Skyfire. It's cool.
Skyfire. So 10 minutes after the lunch is over, he twitters, "I love Skyfire."
Well, I was doing it on the way home,
Yeah.
just clicking on stuff. It's great because you can actually view pictures.
I just
now.
thought it was
Are you-
like, hey, look at me. I am so
Are you talking about
hip
the
and happy.
Firefox browser for phones?
No, it's made by somebody else.
What
Oh,
is
cool.
it? Skyfire?
I've been using it for a few years. It's cool.
But that's how you took it. Like, oh man, he thinks he's cool.
Yeah,
That's
that's
how
how I
you
took
took
it. Yeah, I took it as like, you really didn't have time to love it yet.
Oh, totally.
Maybe
Like-
it was
It's
love
what
at
I've been.
first sight.
It's what it's.
It's
it-
what I've
it
been
gave
dreaming
me-
about.
It's been what I've been dreaming for because I've almost wanted to go to the dark side and buy an iPhone
Yeah.
because you can't view the web
Yeah.
on our
Motorola
subpar,
Q9
crappy
Cs.
phones, and so it's exactly what I was looking for.
All right. So it was a fair Twitter. You love it. So anyway, when I'm in Ohio, this is kind of what I heard. I kept asking people.
Marry it or anything.
They'd come into the
Just
show and they're
continue to
talking
dream
about how
about
much they like the podcast, and I keep doing the why question because
Yeah.
I'm still stunned that people listen and excited
Sure,
about it.
sure.
And what people said is that, and we've heard this over and over, and I just got to lock it in, is that they feel like they're part of a team. So I thought from episode 101 on that we wouldn't call
would
them
assume we're a
we
team.
wouldn't call them listeners. They would
Our
just be
team?
part of our team.
Teammates.
Team. They're on our team. They're on our staff.
Yo.
Who
Doug-
decided that?
Fields
Yeah.
and team.
Team. And everybody.
So it was Fields and Friends.
Yeah,
now
now
it's and we're not even just the friends. Now we're just part of the
The
team.
team.
All right.
Yeah. Well,
Hey.
we kind of lead the team. Where the friends lead the team. How about that?
Oh, Doug Fields and Friends and
lead
team.
the team.
Yeah, that they're
like
just
it.
not listeners. They're not just the audience. They're youth staff. They're part of our
Seth,
team.
what's his name?
All
We'll
right.
call it a tribe.
We'll see you at the
Seth
lock-in on
Gooden.
Friday then.
Yep.
Let's do this.
Gooden. Yeah.
That's my favorite blog. I think that's. Do you read his blog?
Every day. Seth
It's
Godin.
it's probably it is my favorite blog next to yours
Thank you.
Oh.
and after mine.
More than
What's your
dodgeball.
blog? Yeah, what's your blog?
I thought you guys were going to.
Oh, we're 9 minutes in, and he's got more than
Well, it's a
dodgeball.
Hey,
shorter
I've
show,
breathed
I
some
feel
life
like.
into better than more than dodgeball.
You
by the
have?
way. Yep.
How?
Yep. I'm doing new posts to it.
I
Wait,
Really?
you're just
Yep.
doing your own post to it.
Well, I'm waiting for some more questions.
Oh,
Maybe
well,
today we'll
we
get
got-
to-
Doug, run. This is unbelievable.
We got a
Yeah.
bunch of questions,
You
but
should go to the site every once in a while.
here's what happened.
I thought with Sarcastic Monkeys, you didn't have time to update another blog. So
Because that's me doing that one.
exactly.
Oh. Maybe.
Oh, those are the
No,
guys
that's
that
to make
We
fun
don't
of
know
it.
who those guys
Yeah.
are.
make
No,
fun of it.
No. It's either you
Are
or
they
Doug.
are they updated?
They're about
Doug.
20 episodes.
Here's the
behind.
deal.
Oh.
Why in the world would I have an opinion that I didn't want people to know came from me?
Well, because you don't have opinions.
True. Why
Just
would I
true.
want to
Just
talk
wisdom,
about
right?
knowledge without people knowing?
Okay,
that
so Josh,
All
in
right.
in Ohio, when we were last together, what was a highlight for you?
I will never be
Oh,
anonymous.
that's good. Well, it's really simple. I don't know if I shared this with you guys yet, but I really liked the remote control airplanes and people hitting them with
Oh
rockets.
gosh.
It was
And
so
segways, right?
fun. Segways were
Dude,
incredible.
Segway ride, me
Thank
and
you.
you, buddy.
If you're looking
How
for
come
like
I
a-
never got to ride the Segway?
You were
You
too
should've.
busy being
Your
big
kids
time.
did. It was
hanging
so
out
much
with
fun.
Joni and Tommy and Thommy.
Foam?
Thumb.
Schultz?
Thumb.
I tried to convince Tom Schultz to buy me one. He was not interested.
Yeah, how much are they?
That the one
5,000.
we were riding was like $3,100.
Oh, only 3,000?
Yeah.
You.
That's not that bad.
Oh man.
Matt.
You?
Matt's mother-in-law craps 3,000.
On Earth.
They were so much fun. Honestly, it was just
She's like, hey,
you
3,000.
could see people laughing and smiling. I just love to laugh and smile. Youth ministry,
Matt,
if to
Matt
turn
doesn't
it,
like
turn a corner,
the money
no.
humor. Go ahead. Go ahead.
The
He's a little sensitive when I make fun of how much money he's going to marry
She's
into,
loaded.
or he has married into. I won't do it
already
anymore.
married.
I won't do it anymore.
Yeah, I just. You
No.
Until next
No,
time.
I'll stop. I won't make any more your loaded humor.
Daddy Warbucks.
Okay, go ahead.
All
Sorry.
right. Anyhow, I just love the smiles. I mean, I love the community of youth ministry. People laughing together, being together.
Yeah,
you know,
that's
youth ministry is tough, frustrating. It's rewarding and awesome, and all those good things too. But so often, when you escape that context of your local church youth ministry, and you get away to, to respond in singing and in worship and in prayer and in speaking and laughter, and I love that. Easily my highlight was all the smiles, all the laughter, all the great conversations. The fun side of it really was refreshing to me.
That's cool.
And I needed it too, to be honest. I'm doing
You
youth
need to
ministry
work
too.
your finger to the bone.
I'm doing youth ministry too, and to ride segways and to laugh at remote control airplanes and shoot people with Nerf rockets was exactly what I needed.
That's good.
Yeah. And you got shot with. No, you got to
No.
shoot paintballs.
Yes, I
Yeah.
got to shoot Jake.
That
with
was
paintballs.
crazy.
Yeah.
It
And
was-
I
then
almost
and then
came
that
unhinged.
and then that video
I feel
made
so
it
bad
onto
for
one
Jake.
of the anti-everything sites.
Likes.
yeah.
But that's-
And they said, are we trusting youth? These are the type of people we're trusting youth to, and it's Josh
was
shooting
awful.
Jake
But
paintball. But
you got
They
a
call
great-
us flabby youth workers who are shallow. All they care about is fun and games, never serious. And
yeah,
and-
because they followed your ministry and they listen to
Yeah.
your teachings.
Oh,
and- yeah.
But you got a great email from a parent about it.
well, it was awesome because it said, "Would you trust your kids to these youth pastors?" And a parent copy and pasted that and sent it to me and said, "You bet I would. Love you. You're doing a great job."
Oh, that's cool.
And I thought, oh, that's really neat. It was,
Yeah. What's that parent doing? Watching reading the anti-everything blog.
I don't know, but I'll take it.
Yeah.
It came at the right time because I was
Google's Josh's name just to make sure that he's
"You're doing a great job," but I'm still Googling you, just so you know.
still checking in on you.
Yeah, it seems weird to Google you. What
yeah.
about you, Jana? What was your highlight in Ohio?
I think it was fun, like just to see all of our old friends from that are doing
Yeah.
youth ministry all over the place come together. That was very fun to hang out with them and just have conversations. And we spent a ton of time in the hallways just hanging out and at meals and stuff. So that was good. That was
Fun.
one of the first people I saw when I got off the plane was an old intern, and that's just fun to see
It is
that
fascinating.
world come together.
Yeah.
I love it when a plan comes together.
What about you?
Well, that's what I said to Mish when I got back. It was just so fun to hang with, the McQueens. And
Different
the
than
McGuires.
different than last year, because last year when you went, you had a lot of sex.
You're making babies the whole
Yeah,
time.
this time
and
there wasn't as quite as much since Meech wasn't there. So yeah.
On a scale, no, I'm not gonna.
Well, zero's not. It's technically not quite as much.
Yeah.
But, no, but that's what I told Misha when I got back. That it was just so great to see everybody, and last year for me was weird because I was just kind of coming back into the Saddleback world, and it was weird to be around everybody doing the stuff that I used to be a part of.
And
but
you
now
kind
I
of just came
wasn't.
for a vacation, so.
Well, that wasn't weird at all. That was great. But, I mean, you guys vacation basically every day, so you couldn't have the
every day.
reverse.
We're youth pastors. Wow.
Yeah,
We do.
totally. No, so that was a huge highlight. It was fun teaching a session. I taught probably the weirdest session on small groups and discipleship, but I thought it was good. But it was fun.
What did the people that went think?
Well, that's what I got. I got high marks, but a lot of people said, "Oh, that's not what I expected," but it was good. You
Yeah.
know, so that was
Interesting.
cool.
Yeah, that could be
Yeah, I mean,
your autobiography subtitle.
not what I
Marks.
expected, but
Not what I
good.
expected.
Maybe good.
Yeah. It was
That's
funny
right.
to me that people, the way they treated you there, because people would have a conversation with Matt that are podcast regulars, which I like to call our team.
Yes.
Friends.
Yeah,
Team.
and they're just like shocked, like, oh, okay, you're not an idiot.
No, that was only
No.
one person.
You're nice.
You're nice.
That
yeah.
was only one person.
No, but everybody was
No,
thinking
Matt.
that.
People say that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, definitely.
Everybody was
Oh,
thinking
I
that.
mean, that was only one person I heard. I mean,
Because everybody's scared and intimidated by you.
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably.
Well, I think people think you're going to be Matt McGill from the sports instructional video days or Matt McGill from the podcast
Yeah.
days. And really, you are those guys, but you're also
well, the funny thing was
normal
when we got done with the dinner,
It just depends which personality.
it depends on which voice inside is just
Exactly.
really. But the person we went to dinner with was his name Brian.
Drew.
Drew. Sorry, Drew. But afterwards, at the end of the
Sorry,
dinner,
Brian.
sorry, Brian.
I need to double check that.
That's good.
I have no idea.
You
I'm
don't
going to say it was
remember?
Andrew.
No, he was great.
Yeah, he was great. But the funny thing
Oh,
was
the dinner you guys
afterwards-
didn't invite me to?
Oh, remember that one? That
yeah,
steak
yeah,
dinner
yeah.
we did?
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, that was Brazel though.
Drew.
I think.
It was Drew.
Chris didn't get invited either.
It was
Well, yeah,
delicious.
but-
I had the Griffin steak. Peppercorn.
You did have the Griffin steak.
It was delightful.
But my point about Drew is that he had said, "Man, tonight was really fun. Matt, I was really surprised at how nice you were." I mean, that was awesome. So,
You're all things to all people.
It was
well,
good.
a couple weeks ago, we were walking back. Believe it or not, we were driving home from Claim Jumper, driving back to the office. A couple of people were work with, and so this lady is stepping up a curb, and she's older. She's elderly. She falls, and her
Like Jana
knee-
older or like
No, like 60s.
Oh,
She
okay.
falls. Her knee, she falls, hits the ground. Her knee has a divot in it. Like the skin, you could put my two fat fingers in this divot on her knee. It was nasty. And so we pull over and stop, and someone else did too. And I mean, you know, the normal thing you do in that situation, you
Laugh.
talk. This was so far
Put your
beyond
fingers in
laughter.
the
It
divot.
was
Everybody knows
no.
that.
I mean,
that
it
is bad.
was
You see how
unbelievable.
big my fingers are?
Look at this fat finger.
So we get back to the office, and it was the next day, and Rick Bradford, the guy's going to be a new campus pastor, he says, "Man, Matt, it really surprised me how much compassion you showed." And I was like, "Whoa, Rick, you and I have been talking for 3 weeks, and you're saying this?" It's unbelievable. Unbelievably sad. Is what it really is.
No, self-reflection is a tough thing sometimes.
So,
Yeah.
yes.
Doug, what's your highlight?
The podcast.
Oh,
I love doing the
That's
podcast.
fun.
I thought the night was great. The live audience was fun. The people who got to ask questions. I thought all four of us were on and fun, and
It was a
I
fun
think the
podcast.
Tory bit was
Oh, that
was
hilarious.
fun.
So,
It was great. Just talking to people that were there. It was
a
great.
great
See, but
conversation.
unlike for me, that conference is a ton of work for me. So while you guys are out, riding Segways
shooting
and-
paintball guns.
Yeah.
Eating dessert,
Eating
Yeah.
desserts.
hanging out in the hallway.
having
Yeah.
Wait, not
No,
dessert.
yeah.
So that was
You neither, right?
Right.
my funnest night was when you guys picked me up at the airport and we went to Waffle House.
Waffle House. It was
Me
so
and
fun.
Josh and Jake and Allison went to the Waffle House, and that was very fun.
Mm.
But that was a lot. It was a
Chunk.
great conference. It was. I'm glad it was over, and then we came back from that, and we jumped into our PDYM conference.
into
Which
it.
wasn't
that
a
a
whole
week-
lot of work because
is that
that
a
was
week
basically
later?
the same thing.
No, like 2 weeks later.
2 weeks later.
I'm trying to get you guys.
You got a little bit right there. But it's,
Yeah.
So,
No.
so we get off of the conference high and come back and do another conference.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah. Well, and started a 3-week series that ends this weekend. So that
Yes.
was crazy. Jana's been running around crazy.
You've been running around crazy.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Now that I think about the two conferences, I must have done really bad on the first one because I wasn't really asked to do any workshops or anything on the second one.
At PDYM?
And you
Yeah.
work at the second. So
Yeah.
work at the
Which
church.
Which is
and then-
like the third year in a row, I think.
Man,
tough crowd.
No compassion I must have.
It was a good. PDYM was a
weren't paying
great,
enough to afford
great
that.
conference. It's small. It was in our
It was really
refinery. It was great.
Oh,
And
it was
actually,
fun.
you sent me some dates for 2010,
Yes?
and I was thinking, why don't we do another one in the fall?
Why don't we
Oh.
do two?
They were small.
Yeah.
I mean, we could.
Small rhymes with
Can we
fall.
do September and like April or whatever?
I don't know. We talked about that before, but
We
I
did
just,
talk
you know,
about that.
economy's so rough right now. Conference,
That's true.
everything's getting slashed from budgets. But because it was small and we wanted it intentionally small, it was just PDYM only. I think we could do a couple a year. We just would have to repeat everything we did, you know. So whatever we planned this
Right.
in the spring, we do in the fall. We could talk about this offline.
interesting, though.
Yeah.
But Drew,
An idea is born. Our team just witnessed that.
yeah.
Welcome, team.
Yeah.
Tell us what you think.
This is from Drew. He says, just want to drop a quick note and thank you so much for the steak dinner.
Welcome.
You
I didn't mention it during our time. See, here's the thing on the steak dinner. This
I'm
steak,
so mad about the steak
it
dinner.
was it was easy.
Jana, why don't you tell your side of the story?
Well, my side of the story is nobody told me when or where the steak dinner was happening.
Okay,
so
now who is the person of all details here?
Yeah, golden child. What?
Me.
Yeah. So don't you think you should have known that somehow?
No, but the funny thing was,
No.
You think you
No,
that day
because-
Griff was like, "Hey, so do you want to do steak dinner tonight?" And I was like, "Yeah, of course, count me in." And he said it like 3 or 4 times, like, "Hey, so do you want to do steak dinner tonight?" I'm like, "Yeah, of course I want to do
Dude,
steak
I'm like,
dinner."
how excited are you about steak? And he's like, I'm really excited. Why do you keep asking me that?
Yeah, what are you talking about?
Because Matt
I
didn't
thought
know
we
either.
were just gonna go out to eat.
Well, here's
We
what
were,
happened.
But with the podcast.
The person, Drew, won it. He won it
Yeah.
off of our podcast.
And what did you do to win?
He, whoever registered via the podcast was in a
With
drawing.
like a little promo code.
And so we said steak dinner, and then
So it was a
Cammie,
lottery.
the gal that runs the whole conference, was saying to me, "Would you hear a couple time options?" And I said this time option would be better.
Yeah.
A couple hours before it
But
started,
don't tell anybody.
Keep it a secret.
and I assumed that Cammie would then spread the word to everybody, but she didn't. But
assuming.
maybe she assumed that I would, since I see you guys.
Well, I want
once
to
a
blame
month.
Andy.
Yeah, let's see if we can
Obviously.
spin this on Andy.
Obviously,
Everyone wins.
Andy is the one to blame. So we go out
He's
to
the
dinner.
next president of group.
We go out to
Hyde
dinner,
Park Steakhouse.
and it was Josh and me and Matt and Drew. And Drew was very nice. He brought us
Very nice.
Buckeye
Oh,
chocolates.
they were good.
Yes, yes,
Oh, what
and
happened to mine?
I
think
ate
you ate
them
them.
I think I
before
ate
you
them.
left the restaurant.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then we saved a spot for Jana, and Jana got in a taxi and went the wrong way. She went to
Yeah.
she went to Ruth's Chris.
Chris,
See, so
yeah.
not only was she not told when it was, she
Went to the wrong
She went to the
place.
wrong place. Goes to
Oh.
Ruth's Chris, walks in,
But wasn't
has to
your
get a new taxi.
driver
No.
really challenged with some areas?
Yeah,
Yeah, of life.
He was new to Columbus.
I maybe.
Yeah. So anyway, we had a great night. Drew was great, but he does ask this question. He says, "I forgot to ask a question during our dinner." Oh wait, wait.
Wait, we're gonna give him another question.
I
after?
didn't mention during our time together, but my father passed away the week before the conference. Oh, I wonder why he didn't mention it. Maybe Matt was intimidating. He thought you would laugh at his pain.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness gracious.
I about passed away on that one. By the time the conference started, I just wanted to be around friends and laugh. It was such a blessing to go to the dinner and just laugh and feel so accepted. I was amazed watching all of you and the constant attention and love you gave to everyone at the conference. I hope to someday impact the amount of youth leaders that you do on a daily basis. I forgot to ask you a question during the dinner. Have you ever thought about doing a smaller version of the PDYM conference at next year's convention? Several people, including me, only are budgeted one conference a year to attend. A conference within a conference? Another idea.
I love it.
Another
Welcome,
idea is
team.
birth. Come,
Let's jack
team,
hands on
come.
that one, guys.
Team.
Several people, including me, only budgeted one conference to attend. Since the Simple Youth Ministry Conference is so much closer to home, it becomes less realistic to attend PDYM. I have been doing the Purpose Driven for a few years and would like to explore the idea and make it even stronger. you could limit the number of people who could take the track so it wouldn't affect your conference at Saddleback. Strengthen PDYM youth groups. It would be a great way to make PDYM connections. Just an idea.
We've thought about that, actually.
You know what? Drew, it's not just your new idea. It was Jana's.
No.
She
Jana
already
is-
had it. Sorry, hijack.
A conference
Idea hijack.
inside a conference.
What if it was a
Wrapped in
one-day,
an enigma.
8-hour pre-conference thing?
Well, because here's the reality. You could do a 1-hour pre-conference, and you're still not going to get the PDYM experience that people got this last weekend
That's
at,
for sure.
at Saddleback.
Totally. You can get
Yeah.
the training. It's different.
It's just different.
There's an
It's
experience to be had.
observational. It's with our team. It's people talking to volunteers and
You
kids.
get a
and,
feel for the culture.
yeah, the values.
The
The values
values,
really
yeah.
come
Values,
clear.
People
Yeah,
talked a
that's-
lot
that's
about
a better
that
word.
stuff. They talked a lot about what they saw and what they heard, and some of those things you just can't get. I mean, while your teaching was excellent, some of that intangible stuff you don't get in a classroom setting with the teacher. So
Did you still
Well, and it's
did
funny
you still
'cause-
use the ABS small group slides? Because that was one of my favorite parts of the conference.
dude?
Yes.
Yeah, but the new ones you've come
you
up with,
seen our
who
new
did
ones?
those?
Okay, this was my biggest learning for PDYM was we weren't doing a good job of visually pushing kids from the entry level program to a small group.
See, let me just pause and tell you what I love about you. I thought you've heard me do PDYM so many times, but having you and some of your volunteers there, I was watching you taking notes and your mind was going. And what I love about Josh is that even though he knows PDYM so well, he listened. Some new light bulbs went on,
Yeah,
and
it was
bam.
fun.
Well, and
I
I heard
don't-
a
I
text
think that
conversation
that's-
between you and an intern of like, hey, why don't we do this? And you were like, make it happen.
Yes,
Like,
yeah, we were pulling out like the community had an idea about using this Facebook for something new that we then were like, we're doing it now. Your deal was, why don't you push people to the small? And we push people to small groups after it, but we're not doing it visually and intuitively, and so we made 6 new slides that are really really funny. They're in that same vein of
Yeah.
Tanks
Getting-
will kill you, but small groups won't.
exactly. We have one with the.
I just went pee in the pool. See
Max.
the small
Yeah,
group.
Max was like this tiny little baby.
We have
Max.
one. The host home mom with Jennifer Aniston. one
Max was
saying,
never a tiny baby.
Yeah.
You never
Oh.
you never know who your host home mom's going to be. We have one with Jessica Alba saying, "Hey, my younger brother's in an ABS that meets at our house, whatever." My favorite one though is the Octomom, whatever
Yeah,
her name was. With
that's
the 8.
funny.
And she said, I could never get in a small group, so I made my own. And
Yeah.
it's this picture of her
That's a good
stretched
one.
out
That's
belly.
Oh,
Yeah.
goodness.
Way to
Oh,
be
it-
relevant and reach the youth.
Yeah, no, that's a really good
So I
one. That-
put 4 of
In
them
case
on
this
my
bracelet
blog.
doesn't
more than
because-
dodgeball.com.
More than Dodgeball. I didn't want to put them all up because of the haters out there. I just only want to put up a little bit of the humor so I don't get it.
Totally
Who
flamed.
cares? Are you playing to the haters?
Well, a little bit.
Do they cream your blog?
Well, they did for that paintball video. I'm just
Who the haters? Only the people that listen to the haters are the haters.
great.
Don't
I'll put
don't
up
play
a
to
couple
the
more.
haters. Don't
They're
play to your critics.
They're super funny. We played them this weekend, and they're like so eye-catching. Students were like immediately diverted
Yeah.
to the screen. It was
Oh
fun.
Funny.
yeah,
That's
the
awesome.
one with the octuplet mom is so great.
Yeah.
That stomach, Jan, have you seen it?
No.
It's incredible.
Yeah, I mean, you've never seen stretch marks
Oh.
like this.
Well, and all it took was me sending one quick email to a person on the team, just saying, "Hey, could you just crank out a few here? You saw those? Can you?"
Yeah.
And boom, like an hour later, they're done, and
Yeah.
we put them up. So, I mean, it's fun. Little adjustments to a volunteer. It's cool.
Yep.
Chuck Aiden from Apollo Beach, Florida says, I want to thank each of you for taking time to talk with my wife and I at PDYM conference last week. We had
welcome.
such a great time and
Not
learned
you.
so much and were encouraged by each of you except for Matt. We left Saddleback with
No,
such a
it's-
renewed commitment
Except
and
for
passion and are so eager to put into practice some of the things that we learned. I know that we were not the only ones who were impacted in huge ways, so thanks again. You know what was a great thing about this conference, though, is that it was small enough that, like, we had people coming up. I mean, people were at my house
That's cool.
Yeah.
2 of the 3 nights. One guy who was invited to my house, Mark Eads, who's the next one right here.
He came to my house instead.
Yeah, it was awesome. He comes up to me like apologetic. It's man, thank you and for inviting me to my house, but I'm gonna go to Matt's. We're gonna. He's my WoW partner.
Wait, he said he was
said
going to play,
World of
World of
Warcraft.
Warcraft, but then you put him to work. He like fed babies or something, he said.
Talking about Octomom right here. We got her sitting at the table. I'm not talking about Jana.
Yeah, it was great. I was like, he's like, hey, what time should I come over? I said, well, you can come over at 7 when
But I'll hand you a
chaos is
baby.
Here,
done. you know,
Come on
or
over.
you can come over at 5:30 and experience the chaos. So
He did because
Yeah,
I
he
called
did.
you
What
at
a
one
good deal.
at one point.
Yeah.
But that was the great thing about people going out to dinner and
Yeah.
And I think we're going to choose to keep limited at 400.
Absolutely.
Right?
Because,
I think
like,
it's
even
We said
we
that
know their
after the first
faces.
3
We
years,
look.
we said that.
But
And
we
then
got
sold out
pressure.
to the man.
We did
We
sell
had
out.
to pay for someone's salary, I think.
Hey, but
That
now
was
he's a
it.
high school
And his
pastor.
lunches, which was more than his
Still have to do
salary.
that, guys. Let's not
That's
get
right.
crazy here.
Okay, now that's why we
You
sold
know,
out.
Yeah, we had to pay for some
Let's
more
go
salaries
500
and
people and keep the lunches. Can we do that?
stuff. Do I hear
No,
600?
400 felt.
It was so fun.
But
I
you
knew
know what?
So many
So
names
I told-
that
on the
had-
lake.
I told Kathy the
remember
night
that?
before it ended,
Remember that.
I said, I feel like I have had a conversation with every person that was here. And then at the very end, I stood at the door, like Kurt closed it, and I went to the door
Yeah.
so I could say goodbye to everybody left. And I went, oh, no, I didn't.
I
I didn't have a conversation
didn't
with
see
everybody
you.
there.
There's a few hundred.
Yeah, there was a
Right,
lot of
right.
people there that,
It
but I
was
got to
so
say hi
fun.
to them and talk to them on the
Yeah.
way out.
There's something very, very cool about seeing the
Yeah.
purpose-driven youth ministry in action, and our messiness too. Like we're not there saying, "Look at this, we put on the best." Like we're still in this journey of purpose-driven youth ministry.
Well, I
too.
think the people that come versus like what we did at Simply Youth Ministry Conference or what Youth Specialties does, that is just so high tech and
Right.
Or
ours.
scrubs.
Well, at the PDYM
The
conference,
Clippers.
yeah, we're not
We're
even
gonna
the
give you
Clippers.
meatballs.
We're well, see, when we did that meatball sketch, did I tell you this? You know, for those that weren't there, we had, and actually I saw it on your blog, right?
Yeah,
You had
yeah,
a little clip.
yeah.
One of our guys comes out in a boat, and
A gondola.
a gondola,
And a little pole.
and a pole, and he's singing.
Striped
What was
skirt.
the song?
That's Amore.
That's Amore.
That's Amore. And then a bunch of the team, and when I say the team, I don't mean the outer team, the inner team.
Oh, us versus them?
No,
Okay.
okay, I take that
outer
back. I
team.
take that back.
Inner team, outer team.
I
Sorry,
take
guys.
that back. Are the team that we see more regularly.
The friends.
They handed out meatballs, so they had little cups, Matt, and little cups and meatballs, and Matt Hall sang
Anytime
at some
you
more.
hand out meatballs,
But wait, the
it's a
bit was
total
called
win.
PD Why Not?
Yeah.
So it was pretty funny because we had it every day.
But here's the
Oh, I was trying to make a connection between why not
And meatballs.
meatballs. No, it was different. One time it was corn dogs, one time it was ice cream sandwiches. But as he's singing that
It's that way.
on the gondola deal, it's Amore, and we're handing out meatballs, and they have chef's hats on and
He's throwing carnations in
mustaches.
the audience. It was
I
hilarious.
told Kurt, I said, nobody will get this, but this is us. I mean,
Yeah.
this is our
Yeah.
this is our humor. That could never work on a national stage. Like if you did,
Oh, it totally
No
would work
way.
anywhere.
nah, you
Because I'd be laughing and I don't
Wait,
care what everybody
one of the evaluations said, please do not throw meatballs. My shirt is stained. Sorry, buy a new shirt.
Yeah.
I was finding
Yeah.
meatballs the following weekend at church. We were. I'm not kidding.
You
We
guys
were
were
cleaning up
throwing them? You
meatballs.
weren't
Well,
even handing
Well,
them?
they drop or
we- yeah, we-
get under a
$20
seat.
million
A few people got a
we
little
got
excited about getting meatballs up to the
Goodness
balcony.
gracious.
That and the corn dogs. You can really throw
You
a
guys
corn
could
dog.
just
Who
grow
knew?
up a little bit. That'd be great.
Yeah, you just forget. Hey,
Well,
this
hey,
guy named Brian
I'll
Clark
have to do
writes,
that.
he's a youth minister at Trinity Fellowship Assembly of God in Fayetteville. I recently discovered your podcast and listened to episodes 1 through 10. I plan to listen to them all, as they're great, but I decided to listen to the latest episode and found that episode 100 is the latest one posted. Will there be more? It's been 3 weeks since the last podcast. So Brian is a newbie,
What kind of a question is that?
and he's already killing us.
turned on us.
He's already killing us. That is
You have
there going to be another one?
There's a whole library of
Hey,
shows for you to
yeah,
look
that's
at.
what I was thinking. Catch up, buddy. Then come after us,
Start at
huh?
number 1. They're priceless.
They are.
11. He's already done 1
And
through 10.
and
Yeah,
you can
that's
send
true.
anybody can send questions. Although I have enough for next week, but I'll take more because I might lose
I'll
these.
take
say
a
those
question
are-
for my blog, too.
I will. You can choose
Much
any
better
question
than
you
more
want.
than dodgeball.com.
Much better than more than dodgeball.
I cannot wait to see
So,
your new
but we
stuff.
decided today we had a little nibbling session over there with some sandwiches before, and I chose to finish my sermon for this weekend rather than prep the podcast. I said, why don't we just talk? Because we haven't done one in a few weeks, and really the people who listen aren't just listeners; they're our team.
Yeah.
So they really don't.
That's what you do with teams. You just talk.
Yeah. And then this was on the table. This youth
Oh.
leader training on the go. I saw this
was
twittered
serendipitously
yesterday, and I got a little
placed.
sad, honestly, when I saw it Twitter, and I thought it's only been out for about a year, and it's like a 29.
Oh,
I don't know what.
think
I
How much
think
does
it's
this
been
cost?
out
It's been up for a lot longer
Has
than
it
a
been
year.
out longer than a year?
3 years.
So it's $29 retail.
Well, let's
Retail?
see what it
Jana
comes out.
Sardi's name is in it. Jana.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
Oh, Matt McGill's in
Oh,
it too.
it says, Jana, sorry, who didn't read one word.
Oh, that's right. I didn't read one word or do a thing for this book.
We're not bitter.
That's awesome.
Is that the same for me?
No, Matt McGill, who read every word
But
of the
didn't
book,
contribute at all.
challenged my thinking, poured into his insight, and treated this book project as if it was his very own.
Well,
Which may have
probably
been-
better than if it was very my own. Since I don't treat my
The
own
youth
projects
ministry
very
world
well.
will never know how significant you are to much of what I write, except when you tell them every week on the podcast. I'm so blessed to have you, ministry partner, and a friend like you. But I saw this twittered about, and it was like $7.99, and I'm
Yeah.
going, what is it already? I mean, books usually take more than a couple years to go out of print.
Yeah,
But
let's
then
see
I
when it
found
was
out
published.
today there is a
You're not supposed to say the reason.
I'm not supposed to say the
No.
reason.
There's
I
a
can't say the reason.
I just don't know if that's the real reason.
There's
No,
a
there's
reason.
something in this book that is not supposed to be in this
So
book.
But
buy
for
it
$8
and
you can
figure out
find
what
it.
it is,
And then wait till the new
Maybe
one.
on the first page.
and then
Wait till the
send
new
us
one
an
comes
email
out.
at podcast.
I
That's
love
not
it.
a bad idea.
know.
All
Okay.
right, let's come up with a prize. 20 more books.
No, if they do this, buy this, and they can figure out why they're taking this out of print and reprinting it. Oh, because they're going to reprint it just
Right.
minus the one
and
thing.
sell it for $1,000.
No, we will give them $100 worth of
Can I see
Resources.
prizes.
Worth of
2006.
downloadable resources.
$100.
Oh, you looked?
Yeah, 2006.
No
It's
way.
I said 3 years.
old.
It's probably 2006, the end of the year, so it's really a little bit. But they
And we're just
just
barely
they
on
just
9,
found it. So the 12 copies that were sold before this. So that is $7.99, right, Chris? And then we were supposed to have another product to talk about here, which is the newest. It's my small group DVDs
Yeah.
on the biblical purposes. And it's called Plugged In, but we sold out. We don't even have them in the warehouse now. So
That's a good place to be if you're a seller of books.
To be
Sold out?
Sold out.
yeah, I think we'd think through
We
that a
can't
little bit
even
more.
hold
I know.
one
I
up
was thinking
right
the same
now. No, I
thing.
was thinking-
So we're
They'll be back in on Friday.
They'll be back in on Friday, but
So
what they
place your
did, what
order.
they
Better to get
did.
sold out than to have a load of them.
I know, but you know what,
need to
Matt?
move
As
the
the
units.
creator of the product, you think to yourself, boy, they'd have some expectations that maybe we'd sell more than
Well, they probably have
20
that.
or
Oh.
30.
We printed 30 copies of the book. How did it sell already?
Yeah, it's Andy being cheap again.
Hey,
I
but
mean,
now
how
you can-
often do you guys sell out? Not very often.
But you can
I think
benefit
that
now
they manage-
from that inventory and get a great book for $8. So,
what are you saying?
I'm saying that they managed the inventory pretty good. There just was a big boom they couldn't predict.
It's new product. It's DVD. It's small group curriculum.
It's going to be big.
Well, obviously, it was big for the first
We
print.
just did, this is a little aside, we just did a survey of our small group leaders, and one of their number one feedback was, could you get us DVDs and study guides, which we don't do too much of.
You know, Kathy did her high school small group last night, and she's doing the refuel. I don't know if I'm supposed to tell you this, high school pastor. Sorry. But so she got the
She
girls.
tweeted it, actually. That's how I knew that.
Oh, did you? She got the girls. Everybody got a copy of the book, and they've been reading 2 chapters a week. And then they huddled around the computer last night and watched it. And she said it was great. She said it worked for them. They were talking about it, and the whole.
telling you, there's
Okay, I was thinking that though, moving to that format of.
it's so much work. So much
DVD?
work to produce videos. You need 35 videos for a year. I mean, if you did every week.
But we've been getting a lot of, because on this new refuel, you're sending an email to the church and they're watching the video before they go to small group, and then they're just discussing it in small group. And we've actually been getting a ton of positive feedback as far as we like it. We don't like sitting around our small group watching a DVD. It's been fun to watch it on our own. We've had deeper
I
conversation.
thought that Steve was saying most people weren't watching it beforehand.
No, he didn't say most. He said a lot of people still are not used to that.
Well, it's definitely emerging. I mean,
Steve is our-
streaming small group material from
Well,
the web.
it's
is
different
sick,
though too.
And if people wanted that are listening, our friends, our team,
Our team.
as it were.
if they would like, they could go to saddleback.com/refuel and see what we're talking about.
Yeah,
and
I
if
need
you'd like to
I need
do that,
offline something with
if,
that on you.
okay, if you'd like to do that at your church, I'll be done this weekend with a
forget.
3rd sermon, so we'll
Yeah.
give you all 3 sermons. You can either use the videos that were on the website, or we'll give you the manuscript, and you can shoot your own videos. All the small, everything's done.
Yeah, it's all there.
You could,
Bible
could-
study.
yeah, Bible study.
Discussion
I was
questions.
thinking
Small
we
group.
need
That's
to.
the
We should
strongest
do
part, really.
a list of all the Twitters, all the text messages we've sent.
yeah,
We
yeah.
should just compile it into
Yeah.
a list so people can send them out to their
I
own
just
numbers.
want to make it so easy for people to take it and go.
Love it.
Yep,
There it is. Saddleback.com/refuel.
yep.
Hey,
This Rob Coleman was the truck driver that we gave a free thing to for the conference.
I remember meeting him.
He said,
We had a steak
This
dinner
Rob-
with him too, Jana. Sorry.
yeah.
Forgot to
Sorry.
tell you.
Thank Andy for me. I don't know why. By his bookstore on the phone with my wife, feeling a little lonely when Andy recognized me. He came up and said hello. See, Andy does have a heart. He's not just always trying to push product.
Nice.
Yeah, it really meant a lot to me. A lot, 2 words. He did it right.
Oh,
Woo!
Yep. And reinforced the fact of how important it is to do this in ministry. Thanks again for a great time.
No, what he doesn't know is that Brazel talked him into 3 more products.
Good to see you, Rob. Hey,
while
what
he
about
said
Plugged
hi.
In or Training on the Go?
Hey,
7
Joe from Flashpoint
you're a
Student
little
Ministry
lonely.
said,
Wow,
happy
life
belated
has
100th. Hope you're
appeals.
you're still encouraging us here in the trenches, still spouting wisdom and still entertaining.
Spout.
So I'd
Spouting,
say the
entertaining.
first 100 were a success.
Very much
Then
so.
he says, I was wondering if you've read the article by Jesse Browning on the latest CPYU Engage journal. It's about Facebook and other social networking sites. If you haven't read it, it's a great read.
Have you
read
seen it?
This table's going to go.
It's gonna break.
I was
Remember
finally
when
pushing
Matt
on
went
him.
through like 3 years of trying to break something every single day?
What?
Yes, you did. You
And
like
his
broke-
shirt.
I haven't read it yet.
And a shirt.
Do you know what he's talking about?
No, but I will look it up.
In my session, I said that genuine interest was much better than understanding youth culture. I just thought about that.
You love your lines.
Yeah, that's a good line, though.
He loves his lines. I don't know if I know anybody who loves their own stuff as much as Matt.
Matt's biting his tongue right now, which is probably wise.
You do. You love your lines.
I love to see people laugh.
Yeah?
You're an entertainer, Matt.
I am an entertainer.
At heart.
How many minutes?
You're not intimidating.
I was just checking. 40.
All right. So, anything else?
No?
Here's to the fact that episode 102 will be filled with questions. Just enough content so you don't feel guilty
Just
for
enough
listening.
youth ministry.
Just enough youth ministry.
So, 102 next week?
Yeah, next week. It's our spring break.
I won't be here.
Oh,
Yeah.
you won't be here.
I will be in New Mexico on a mission
Oh,
trip.
that's right.
Do you guys want to come with? We can
No,
it's
only a
in
20-hour
Shiprock,
driving.
New Mexico.
I was thinking about it.
Is there really planes
The thing
that
is,
fly
is
out
like,
there?
yeah, it takes just as long to fly as it does to drive, though.
Yeah,
You know what I was
it's pretty
thinking?
rough.
Really?
I was thinking maybe we'll have somebody sit in for you. Is Jake going?
He's not. He would.
We could have
he would love
Jake,
to be on
or
the
we
show.
could have Craig Hodgkins. I was thinking about Craig.
Okay, cool.
Oh, you know who wants to sit in? Who I saw
Why are you
2 weeks
laughing?
ago?
Nothing.
Come on, Craig's
Who?
gonna listen. He's gonna hear you
and
laugh.
You've already talked to this
No.
person. Yes,
Sorry,
you
Craig.
have.
Ooh, look at P.S. I think Matt is awesome, although a little
Oh, I know.
intimidating.
Oh.
This is from
I can't even read without my glasses.
a guy named Doug. Amy and Doug. Thanks for the great
Amy
time at
and
the
Doug?
conference.
Amy and Doug Elliott?
No.
Different.
I took a young leader with me, and we had a blast. One of the greatest things about the conference was how easy it was to talk
I
to
think
all.
he's saying that because he's trying to be. He's trying to
What?
be smart aleck.
I think Matt is awesome, although a little intimidating.
Yeah, because wasn't the last show we talked about that?
I don't know. I
You
The
remember the
100th
last show?
Oh, maybe not.
You're
He says, I was awestruck by being around the guys that listen to the podcast. Why? Because we're just friends.
we're just part of your
Your
team.
team.
Well,
Come
You're
on.
part of our
Team.
team. We're part of your team.
But my friend Steve had no idea who you were. Awesome. So he just went up and talked to you all. He commented how much it meant to him that Josh was busy carrying a box, but dropped it and started talking to him. So you didn't
was
allow
heavy,
a box.
first of all.
You didn't allow a box to stay in the way between you and a conversation.
Bingo.
It
Part of the
wasn't a
team.
box of food, though.
I was carrying around day one of PDYM. I was carrying around a bucket of ice for like half the morning, and Kurt comes up to me and says, "Hey, I know we're supposed to be a servant, but this is taking a little too far. You don't have to carry that everywhere you go." So I let him carry it for a while.
But you weren't carrying it everywhere you went. You were just in one
I just
conversation.
got conversation like it
holding
was awesome, and I'm just carrying this ice.
He
it was
said
so fun.
we're registered
the
for next
Iceman.
year and taking more leaders.
I
You're the
love it.
Iceman.
That's
We'll
awesome.
see you there, dude.
Just like Top Gun.
Okay, what happened? I missed the live show. Keep waiting to see it posted.
Uh-oh.
Oh, this is an old. It's posted. This was March 5th. Sorry.
Oh,
Somehow that got in there.
Rookie emailer right there.
Well,
Fax that to Doug.
Ooh, that's an
That's old
interesting
school email
ministry
right
name.
there. Whoop.
Wildfire.
Wildfire.
This is from Ryan Seegers at Wildfire, middle school director.
Did you see that?
Wildfire.
parody? The Ignatius parody.
Uh-uh.
He says, "Great to hear Andy on the podcast again." What? Judging by his quick, self-defining answers, it sounds like he's receiving some serious therapy from all of the verbal, emotional ego beatings that the gang, code word for Doug, has given him. Or maybe it's just a lot more time to watch Oprah. Either way, glad to have you back, Andy.
Oh, that's nice, Andy.
Yeah.
Musketeers.
All right.
All
I
right.
got questions for
That's
next
the
week,
show.
but if you want to send some questions, podcast at Simply
Please
Youth
do.
Ministry.
Yeah.
If you want to pray for Josh as he goes away
That'd
on
be
a
great.
mission trip to New Mexico.
Mhm.
Are you
Ship
going to
Rock, New
Twitter
Mexico.
throughout the day?
I'm going to Twitter throughout, and I have a little prayer
Do they
guide
have
that I'll
signals
post up
out
on my
there?
blog. They do. They have a signal, but it's
Yeah.
not. It's not super strong. So the
Yeah.
internet will be.
Why don't you start a Twitter just for families?
We're actually using Simply Text, and we're sending out. We've got some parents that are signed up and ready to go.
Okay.
So if you're signed up on that list, we'll send you twice a day, morning and at late afternoon.
That's great.
It's going to be really neat.
Oh, good.
And it's actually benefited
Only
us already.
3 children lost to wild wolves.
We've actually been able
Praise
to
the
send
Lord.
out a couple of texts beforehand too.
PTL.
A reminder about a meeting, or today we sent out one that said, "Hey, if you have an old baseball glove or a bat or whatever, we're collecting sports equipment, bring it tomorrow to the refinery." So it's been nice to have that before we've left. It'll be fun to send out.
That's
updates
great.
while we're gone, too.
Very good. Okay, well, we'll probably have a show without you next week.
Please do. Jake would be great. Craig, awesome. Whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, you know
But-
who wants to come on?
Who?
Well, I'll just let it be a surprise.
Okay.
Fair
and
enough.
here's the deal. If we could get somebody in the Simply Youth Ministry world, since Andy's so cheap, Chris, we have to have a table that doesn't rock.
And not glass, please.
Or a new table.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not glass.
Okay. So
How do you feel about me taking that over to my office?
I
Do they
don't
even
I
use it
don't-
here?
Yeah, it's used every week. We sit
Oh.
in it to have lunch.
It
Yeah.
might be the new table.
Yeah, that's our new table.
Yeah. When you say buy a new table, I might be moving that one right here.
Oh. Well, we could eat at this table.
I'm up for that.
You could have this one.
I could eat any table.
I don't need
Hey,
this
let's
one.
say goodbye to our
Hey,
team.
Bye, team.
Team, back to work.
Yo, team. Just enough youth yibble.